Let's get into it. We spend a huge chunk of our lives at work, right? And so often we're stuck wrestling with software that's just clunky, confusing, and complicated. But what if it didn't have to be that way? What if there was a better approach? Well, today we're going to look at exactly that. A whole new way to think about our digital workspace. A single, super intuitive entry point for every single app you need to get your job done. Think about how much work has changed. Not that long ago, you join a company and pretty much expect to stay there for decades. You had all the time in the world to master these really complex, clunky software systems. But today, that's just not the world we live in anymore. We're constantly switching roles, maybe even changing companies. We have to get up to speed, and we have to do it fast. And that massive shift created a really big problem. We need tools that just make sense from day one, Not something that comes with a 300-page manual you have to memorize.
And that exact problem, well, that's what sparked a complete rethinking of how software should be designed. And this isn't just about launching another product. No. This is about a whole new philosophy, one that's built from the ground up to meet the demands of today's workplace.
So, this new philosophy is called SAP Fiori. And here's the first thing you really need to get. Fiori isn't an app. It's not a program you install. It's better to think of it as a design language, kind of like a set of rules and principles for building apps. The whole goal is to make every single application, doesn't matter what it does, feel totally consistent, familiar, and just simple to use. And that's whether you're on your big desktop computer or just scrolling on your phone.
And this entire design language, it's all built on 5 core principles. It's got to be role-based, which just means it only shows you stuff that's actually relevant to your job. It has to be adaptive, so it looks and works great on any device. Simple, so it's a breeze to learn. Coherent, so all the different parts feel like they belong together. And my personal favorite, it has to be delightful. Yeah, delightful, because let's be real, using your work software shouldn't make you miserable.
Okay, to really get why this is such a big deal, let's look at the old way of doing things. So picture this. It's your first day at a new job. Someone tells you to use an app called Goods Movement. You open it up and whoa, it is just a wall of buttons, text fields, and confusing options. And you're thinking, what am I even looking at? The reason is that this one app was trying to be everything to everyone. It handled receiving materials, returning stuff to suppliers, the whole shebang. It was an absolute beast.
And this is where the genius of the Fiori approach really comes into play. Instead of trying to tame that monster app, they just got rid of it. They asked a really simple question. What is the user actually trying to do right now? So if you need to log a new shipment that just came in, boom, here's a super clean, simple app just for that, post-goods receipt. Need to send a defective part back? No problem. Here's another focused app called Return Delivery. See, each app does one thing, and it does it really, really well. It takes that overwhelming complexity and just breaks it down into simple, intuitive tools.
Okay, so now you might be thinking, if you've got all these little simple, separate apps, where do they all live? How do you even find them? And that brings us to the practical, real-world application of this whole philosophy, your personal command center. It's called the SAP Fiori Launchpad, and you can think of it as the single front door to your entire digital workspace. It's the hub, the one place you go for every single app you have permission to use. This is your home base, and it's built to work seamlessly whether you're at your desk or on the go. So the moment you log in, you land on a page that's literally called My Home. And it's exactly what it sounds like. Think of it as this really smart dashboard that's been built just for you. It's designed to bring the most important stuff right to the surface, so you know exactly where you need to focus your attention from the get-go.
And this My Home page is organized so intelligently. You've got a section for your to-dos, that's all your urgent tasks and alerts all in one spot. Then there's apps and activities, which is perfect because it shows you your favorite apps and what you were just working on. And then you have Insights, which gives you a quick snapshot of the key numbers and metrics that matter for your job. It's all about getting you the right info and the right tools right when you need them.
All right, but wait a minute. If a company has potentially hundreds of these little apps, how do you stop from just getting lost in a sea of icons? That would be a nightmare, right? And that's the next big challenge, organization. The Launchpad uses a really clear, logical structure to make sure you can always find exactly what you're looking for. And this organizational structure is called Spaces and Pages. It's the standard way things are laid out, and it's designed specifically to group your apps in a way that just makes sense for your job. This isn't just some random jumble of icons on a screen. It's a truly thought-out, organized workspace. Let me walk you through how this really clever hierarchy works. So let's say your job is an administrator. Your space, the top level, is administration. That represents your whole role. Okay, now inside that space, you have pages for big groups of tasks, like say, identity and access. Then on that page, you've got sections for more specific things, like users and roles. And it's only then, inside that section, that you find the actual app you need, like maintain business users. You see how you just naturally drill down from the big picture to the specific tool? It's super intuitive. So, when you pull all of this together, you start to see that this is about so much more than just a pretty screen. It's really about the fundamental, game-changing impact that thoughtful, user-focused design can have on how we actually work every day. And honestly, this all boils down to one incredibly powerful idea. A single quote that just says it all. The app should teach you how to use it. Think about that. If the design is really, truly good, you shouldn't need a week-long training course. It should just make sense.
So what are the really crucial things to remember from all this? First, Fiori is a design philosophy that always puts you, the user, first. Second, that idea of breaking down complex jobs into simple, task-focused apps is an absolute game changer. Third, the Launchpad acts as your personalized command center for all those tools. And finally, in the fast-paced way we work today, this kind of intuitive design isn't just a nice-to-have, it's absolutely essential.
And that really just leaves us with one final thought to chew on. Take a second and think about the software you have to use every single day for your job. Now just imagine, what if all of it was this simple, this clear, this intuitive? What would that change for you and how you feel about your work?
Today,